As most of you know, the cleanup's going to kick off at 8 o'clock a.m. this Saturday, May 21st, and it'll run through 4 o'clock on that day. We want to invite everyone in the community to take part. As all of you know, it's so very important that we keep our community clean, not just on this given day, but throughout the year. But this is a good opportunity for all of us to come together and work on doing some things throughout the community to make it nice and attractive, not only to those from the outside, but for those of us that live here. Kim's going to talk in a few minutes about what volunteers can do to assist us. We're going to be, those of you who are going to be volunteering, we're also going to be having lunch later on in the day. And we have several sponsors we'd like to acknowledge. We'd like to thank, again, Best Way Disposal, who's going to be having dumpsters throughout the community. That's going to make it easier for us to get rid of large items and so forth. Again, of course, the Martin Luther King Commission, who's worked so hard getting ready for this throughout the year. We'd also like to thank Battery Experts and also Big Joe's Service Event, as well as the folks with the Recycle Force. So we'd like to thank everyone who's taking part in this, and at this time I'd like to introduce Kimberly Townsend, who's going to give us a little bit more detail about what we should expect this weekend. Kimberly?
All right, thank you. Thanks everybody for coming out. Just want to, the mayor said a lot about what we're planning on doing, but just wanted to highlight a few things that have been important. I think it's important that we all came together as city departments. All of our departments were represented as a committee, and we've just been trying to further the vision and the dream that Reverend Menifee had 31 years ago in understanding how important it was to keep our city clean, keep it beautiful, and that's what attracts businesses and other people to want to live here. So I want to thank my committee, everybody that's worked so hard with this. We've got a banner here that talks about the cleanup itself, a picture of Reverend Menifee. We're very proud of that. That'll go on T-shirts this year. So what to expect on that day, we're going to meet at 15th and Madison Avenue, the volunteers. City crews will probably come as well. They will meet down there. We're going to kick it off with prayer and greetings from the mayor's office and the Martin Luther King Commission. We will distribute gloves, bags, safety vests. We need safety vests, so we'll have those available for the volunteers. We'll have all that and a T-shirt. Hopefully we'll have enough to go around on that day. So if you come out, and in the morning there'll be some tickets that'll help you to get lunch later on around noon back at 15th Street. One thing, and then we will continue on the rest of the day. City crews have been mobilized to pick up different items from the community, heavy item pickup. They've been calling into the street department, getting on the list, and so that will continue all day. We will also mobilize at Athletic Park, where we'll have an array of dumpsters, stations that will take in paint, metals, electronics, tires. Tires are our big thing. So we have Liberty Tire will be here to take in all that, all the tires. So, but one thing I do want to talk about, we're also working on a little deeper surface project with this cleanup. We've identified an area in our community that we feel needs a lot of attention. They've been kind of hidden behind a guide lamp until that building came down, so now it's been exposed. But the Belmont neighborhood, we're going to provide a lot of the same services to that neighborhood that day. We've already seen the neighbors come out, the residents come out in full force, embracing the city's decision to target this as a revitalization area. They've started a Facebook page. They've been meeting with us and talking to us and letting us know about all the conditions. There's a lot of abandoned properties, a lot of areas where people are dumping their trash. So we want to give them an opportunity to come together and unify with this cleanup. The police department will be there. They're going to serve hot dogs to the residents. They will be there to take any complaints about what the neighbors feel needs to be dealt with in their area. So we're very proud to have Belmont on board with us, and for us to be on board with them. They're demolishing the old park shelter, and our plans are to have that rebuilt for them. There's a lot of children in the neighborhood, and Rodney Chamberlain, who's the head of parks, we've been working with his department on this project, and that was one of the mayor's strong initiatives, was to beautify our parks, and so we're keeping in line with what his vision has been for our park system and our neighborhoods. So I'm not sure if I left anything out. I do want to acknowledge Mrs. May Rayford with the Anderson Zion Baptist Church, where this all has come about 31 years ago. Reverend Menifee was the pastor of Anderson Zion. They have mobilized really strongly, and we'll have youth coming out and volunteers from the church to come out for the cleanup, and also Reverend Redding, who's with the Martin Luther King Commission. So would either of you want to come up and say a few words? Because he's a preacher, you know he's going to come up and talk. Thanks, Reverend Redding.
Thank you, Kim, and to the mayor and to all of you. 1985, I was a young man. Had the honor of serving with Dr. J.T. Menifee and Reverend Ray Wright when we started all this. The mayor at the time was Mayor Tom McMahon. He had given a State of the City address, and he came to the Geter Center to give us the State of the City for that side of town. He was sharing that, and the RUDAC study had come through here, and they were about to invest $3 million along the White River corridors. And they were doing a lot of projects to clean up and to make matters beautiful on this side of town. So in that meeting, Reverend Menifee stood up and said that we're interested in our side of town also being beautified, and we don't connect to the river, so there's no money going to be dedicated or allocated for us. And we're actually not asking for anything. We want to take a part in making our community better. And so he said, all we're asking that the city would do is that if there's some services we need, we want you to provide that, but we're going to get out and clean up our own side of town. And that's how the Martin Luther King Commission began to start the Reverend Dr. J.T. Menifee West Side Neighborhood Cleanup in 1985. I'm proud to have been a part of that all of these years, and as I serve now as the chairman of the commission, we're appreciative to Mayor Broderick and the former mayors and all the city who has supported and helped us to grow this effort so that now it's not just an area, but it's an entire city that is involved in the campaign to make our city better. And so I just am excited. I thank you all, the mayor and all who are serving with us. It's our desire that our community be a community that will attract others and that will be able to grow, and not only just grow the population, but grow friendship and brotherhood, because this effort has brought a lot of people from a lot of sides of town together. And I want to encourage us all to even work closer together. And everybody's invited to come and work with us on the west side, and we have no problem coming on the east side, south side, or north side working with you, because it's all about the city. So thank you so much. We look forward to seeing everybody on Saturday. And I promise if you come out there on Saturday, our speech will be shorter. Have a good day.
I do want to mention a couple other things I forgot. We're going to have our compost site open. In that way, people can take their brush limbs, yard waste, and things out there for their composting. And this service, this cleanup is for Anderson residents. And so there's going to be a station. Ms. Trina will be down there checking IDs, because this is a very premier project, and it's been praised all over the area. So a lot of people want to come and be a part of our cleanup, but we can only handle so much. So this is for Anderson, and I think that, I'm not sure what else on that. But there's going to be small fees for tires and our paint. Those are some very tough items to get rid of. So make sure, have your dollars out. It's not a lot, but it's just something to help put money back into our fund to help continue these cleanups through the years. So, does anybody have any questions?
I do have a question.
Yes.
Last year, this cleanup almost didn't happen because the city didn't want to put money into it. In fact, I think they got a donation from a private business. So is this year different? Is the city funding this now, or have you sought additional donation?
Yes, it's fully supported by the city this year. We've got a lot of crews working. There's going to be a lot of manpower on the roads and everything. I can't really say much about last year, but this year we're doing pretty good with this.
Do you have any idea how much the city's going to spend?
I don't know about the overtime and things like that, but we've got some small costs into it. A lot of our stations are, like, we have a recycling, we can recycle the appliances. There'll be funds coming back to a non-reverting account we have. Anybody have any questions? Anybody else? Yes. Not to my knowledge. We just want to make sure that everyone, if you're going to be out on the road, that they have a safety vest on. So we are mandated to provide, to have that available, and we do. We've got vests. And we will make sure we get those back so that we can keep having them from year to year. Yes. Yes, we've got downtown Levi Rinker. He has helped gather some downtown merchants along with the YMCA to be a part of the cleanup. We've got some groups that have contacted me. We've got churches coming on board, youth groups, and we appreciate the downtown wanting to be a part of it, and that will be their target area, is to keep the downtown looking clean. So hopefully, even though we're kicking this cleanup off on the 21st, that this is a year-long effort. We have to make sure we do our part to keep our neighborhoods clean. And also, if it's not going to rain, it's not going to rain. But it's always good to have a contingency plan. Not going to be cold either, but dress warm. So in case of rain, we will go to the Geter Center. We've had to do that in the past to have our lunch. So we'll make sure that everybody gets fed, because the food's going to get cooked and we don't want it to just go to waste. So we will be able to go to the Geter Center, which is not far from 15th and Madison, to have our lunch.
So there's stuff out there that needs to be picked up and taken care of, but we can't, one or two people can't do it by themselves, but if coming together as a team and doing it, you can make a big dent and make a big difference. And you drive by the same area that you cleaned up last year, a few months later, and you see how it gets back in that sort of condition. But if you stay on top of it, it stays clean and nice, and it's something that we all appreciate. So again, I look forward to seeing you out there, and thank you very much for coming today. And we'll see you on Saturday. Thank you.